Of the 9 people in the studio here today, only one of them can win up to £10,000. The rest of them will leave with nothing, as round by round they are voted off as the weakest link.
Welcome to the weakest link. Any of the 9 people in the studio here today could win up to £10,000. They don't know each other, however, if they want to win the prize money, they'll have to work as a team, but 8 of them will leave with nothing. As round by round we lose the player voted as the weakest link. Let's meet the team.
I'm Randy, I'm 32, and I'm an artist.
I'm Jason, I'm 47, and I'm an optician.
I'm Erica, I'm 51, and I'm a support worker.
Hello, I'm Henry, I'm 77, and I'm a retired pilot.
Hi, I'm Paulina, I'm 68, and I'm a retired chemist.
I'm Alan, I'm 59, and I'm a butcher.
Hi, I'm Craig, I'm 25, and I'm an accountant.
Hello, I'm Wendy, I'm 43, and I'm a full-time mother.
Hello, I'm Brian, I'm 38, and I'm a college tutor.
Now the rules: in each round you have a target of £1,000. The aim of the game is to answer enough questions correctly to reach your £1,000 target within the time limit. The fastest way to get to your target is to create a chain of 9 correct answers. However, get your question wrong, you'll break the chain and lose all the money in that chain. But if you say the word bank before the question is asked, the money is safe, but you'll start a new chain from scratch. Remember, at the end of the round only money that has been banked can be taken forward. In round 1 there are 3 minutes on the clock. We'll start with the person whose name is first alphabetically. And that's you, Alan. Let's play the weakest link. First question is for £20. Start the clock. Alan, in the expression "if it's raining heavily, it's raining what animals?"
Cats and dogs.
Correct. Craig, how many minutes are in 2 hours?
120.
Correct. 20. In which country would you be in the outback?
I don't know.
Australia. Brian, what is the 5th month of the year?
May.
Correct. Randy, what do calories and kilojoules measure?
Energy.
Correct. Jason,
Bank.
in golf what term means 1 over par?
Bogey.
Correct. Erica, which sci-fi film series has the villain Darth Vader?
Star Wars.
Correct. Henry, what insect sounds identical to the second letter of the English alphabet?
B.
Correct. Paulina, what's the name of the princess who has extraordinary long hair?
Rapunzel.
Correct. Alan, in botany a biannual plant has a life cycle of how many years?
2.
Correct. Craig, complete the title of this song by Bryan Adams. Summer of what?
69.
Correct. 20. What D is a book containing words in alphabetical order?
Diary.
No, Wendy, dictionary is the correct answer. Brian, what C is an alternative name for a mountain lion?
Cougar.
Correct. Randy, in which mythology is Cupid the god of love, Greek or Roman?
Is it Roman?
Correct. Jason, who was the author of the Harry Potter books?
J.K. Rowling.
Correct. Erica, in politics who is the current leader of the Scottish National Party?
Nicola Sturgeon.
Correct. Henry, red Leicester is what kind of dairy product?
Cheese.
Correct. Paulina,
Bang.
on the moon you would find the sea of what?
Tranquility.
Correct. Alan, which American male singer was nicknamed the Boss?
Bruce Springsteen.
Correct. Craig, what liquid has a boiling point of 100 degrees Celsius?
Water.
Correct. 20.
Bank.
In Judaism, what H is a holiday celebrated on December
Pass, no Hanukkah.
No, I cannot accept your answer. You said pass first. Hanukkah is the correct answer. Brian, the American president Richard Nixon was involved in what scandal?
The Watergate scandal.
Correct, Randy. Which book by Rudyard Kipling has a child called Mowgli who was raised by wolves?
The Jungle Book.
Correct, Jason. In which American state is the Apple headquarters located?
New York.
Nope, California. Erica, in which sport do the New Zealand All Blacks play professionally?
Rugby union.
Correct, Henry. What's the name of the 2001 DreamWorks movie that... Time's up. I cannot complete the question. And we are off to a not-so-impressive start. Out of the £1,000 you could have won in this round, you only banked just $450. Who shouldn't have bothered to come here today? Who is already very nervous? One of you is about to leave with nothing. It's time to vote off the weakest link.
In the first round, Brian is the strongest link. He answered all of his questions correctly. The weakest link is Wendy, because she failed to answer a single question correctly, but she did bank money for the team. Will the team consider that?
Voting over, it's time to reveal who you think is the weakest link.
Wendy.
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 Jason.
Wendy.
Randy. What do you do for a living?
I'm an artist.
And what does that involve?
I draw sketches and make paintings.
What kind of paintings and sketches do you make?
Mostly abstract, but my specialty is portrait painting.
I see. Have you ever painted a picture of yourself?
No, but it's actually a good idea. But they do take a very long time to complete.
With that kind of hair, I suppose it would take quite a while to paint.
Yeah, probably. My hair is quite long, but I like my hair that way.
Would you ever get a haircut?
Not anytime soon, because I don't like my hair short.
So Randy. Why Wendy?
Because I don't think she got any questions right in that round. She made us lose lots of money, and she's very hesitant.
And you're very quick, huh?
At least I got all of mines right though.
Very true. Craig, you said you're an accountant?
Yes, I'd been an accountant for 3 years.
Do you like your job as an accountant?
Yeah, I do. I always wanted to be an accountant, and I'm happy that I finally got a job as one.
What job did you have before you became an accountant?
Before I became an accountant, my first job was at a supermarket, and I worked at the checkouts.
And did you enjoy that job?
It was okay, I guess. But being an accountant is definitely better, and I'm glad I finally got a new job, to be honest.
So you didn't enjoy your first job that much then?
No. Not really.
Didn't think so. So Craig, why did you vote for Wendy, the full-time mother?
I voted for Wendy because she got all of her questions wrong and made us lose lots of money, and also she is extremely nervous, and I think her nerves got the better of her.
I think so too. Wendy, the 43-year-old full-time mother, who doesn't know where the Outback is, and thinks dictionaries and diaries are the same thing. It looks like the nerves got the better of you. You didn't get a single correct answer in this round, and you made the team lose a lot of money, which they are not happy about. I'm not surprised that this is an unanimous vote. It's time to go back to being a mother. With 8 votes, you are the weakest link. Goodbye.
I'm very disappointed with myself in the game, especially passing on the Hanukkah question, which I knew. I don't think I'll ever hear the end of this when I get home, especially if my kids and husband were watching the show today.
Round 2. So far you have £450 in the bank out of a possible 1,000. You're down to 8 players. We're cutting 10 seconds from the time. We'll start with the strongest link in the last round. And that's Brian. Let's play the weakest link. Start the clock. Brian in the animal kingdom. What W is a small kangaroo native to
Wallaby.
Australia? Correct, Randy. In maths, what's 20% as a fraction?
I don't know.
1/5. Jason, which children's TV program has the characters Jake, Milo, Fizz and Bella?
I haven't a clue.
The Tweenies. Erica, Helsinki is the capital of which European country?
Finland.
Correct, Henry. If something is very easy, it's like taking candy from a what?
Baby.
Correct, Paulina. What star sign is represented by a bull?
Taurus.
Correct, Alan. What's the name of the 1994 film directed by Quentin Tarantino starring Samuel Jackson?
Pulp Fiction.
Correct, Craig. On a car, what do Americans call the bonnet?
The hood.
Correct, Brian. In the song 12 Days of Christmas, how many drummers were drumming?
12.
Correct, Randy.
Bank.
Which board game would you get a out of jail free card?
Monopoly.
Correct, Jason. In which century was the Berlin Wall taken down?
The 18th century.
Nope, the 20th century. Erica, what's the name of the yellow bear in Children in Need?
Hussy.
Correct, Henry. Complete the name of this rock band created in the 1980s, the Red Hot Chili what?
Peppers.
Correct, Paulina.
Bang.
In weight measurements, 14 pounds is equal to 1 what?
Stone.
Correct, Alan. In chemistry, what two letters represents titanium?
TI.
Correct, Craig. If A is Alpha and Z is Zulu, what is H?
Hotel.
Correct, Brian. Complete the name of the amusement ride located in Disneyland Tower of what?
Terror.
Correct, Randy.
Bank.
What South Korean company makes the Galaxy smartphones?
Oh, it's Samsung.
Correct, Jason.
Bank.
What sport would you associate Jockey Wilson?
Darts.
Correct, Erica. The male singer Tom Jones was born in which country in the UK?
Wales.
Correct, Henry. What dog breed was there 101 of in the 1961 Disney movie?
Pass.
Dalmatians is the correct answer, Henry. Paulina, who became the president of South Africa in 1994?
Nelson Mandela.
Correct, Alan. How many days are in 3 weeks?
21.
Correct, Craig.
Bank.
In computing a portable device. Time's up. I cannot complete the question. You did slightly better in that round, team. You banked £770, but why isn't it 1,000? Who is stopping you from reaching your target? Who is too slow and can't keep up? It's time to vote off the weakest link.
In the second round, Paulina is the strongest link because she got all of her questions correct and banked some money for the team. Jason is the weakest link because he got the most strong answers. But who does the team want off?
Voting over, it's time to reveal who you think is the weakest link.
Jason.
Randy.
Randy.
Jason.
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 Randy.
Jason.
Brian, remind us what you do.
I'm a college tutor.
How long have you been a college tutor?
For 15 years.
Really? You must have been very young when you first started as a college tutor.
Yeah, I was young. I was only 23 years old when I first started my job as a college tutor.
Don't you think that's a little young to be a college tutor though?
Well, I don't think so. If you have good qualifications, and if you want to make a career in teaching, go for it. Just because you're young, doesn't mean you can't teach.
What did you do before you decided to get a career in teaching?
I was originally planning to be an electrical engineer, but I believed that I had a lot of potential, so I decided to teach electrical engineering at college.
And is it going well for you so far?
I would say so. So far so good.
Alright. So Brian, what has Jason done to upset you?
He got 2 questions wrong, and his questions were not that difficult, and I can't believe he would think the Berlin Wall was taken down in the 18th century, when it happened in 1989.
Henry. Never heard of 101 Dalmatians.
I have heard of 101 Dalmatians.
Why did you say pass on that question then?
I didn't hear the question properly.
So it's my fault now, is it?
No, it's probably my fault, because my hearing isn't perfect due to my age.
Speaking of your age, you said you're a retired pilot?
Yup, that's right.
How long were you a pilot before you retired?
Before I retired, I was a pilot for 47 years, from 1961 till 2008.
Do you miss your job as a pilot?
I sure do. Being a pilot was my dream, because when I was young I used to collect models of planes.
Do you still have your plane models?
I think so. They're probably somewhere up my attic.
So Henry, why have you voted for Jason?
Well, he got more questions wrong than I did, so I thought he was the weakest link.
Statistically, he was indeed the worst player in the round. Jason, the 47-year-old optician, who thinks the Berlin Wall was taken down in the 18th century. You got most of your questions wrong in this round, and it now looks like they've had enough of you. It's time to go back to being an optician because with 5 votes, you are the weakest link. Goodbye.
I really hope Brian doesn't win the money, because I think he is a very obnoxious person who thinks he knows all. However, I think Randy will be voted off next, because he's been extremely hesitant, and the team would eventually get sick of him.
Round 3. You have £1,220 in the bank out of a possible 2,000. There are 7 of you left. We're cutting another 10 seconds from the time. We'll start with the strongest link in the last round. And that's Paulina. Let's play. The weakest link. Start the clock. Paulina, what does DIY stand for?
Do it yourself.
Correct, Alan. In video games, what's the name of the Italian plumber made by Nintendo?
Mario.
Correct, Craig. If the days of the week were in alphabetical order, then which day would come last?
Wednesday.
Correct, Brian. The character Chandler Bing is from which TV sitcom?
Friends.
Correct, Randy. If you were to add a dozen to a baker's dozen, then what number would you get?
26?
Nope, 25. Erica, the 2015 film Spectre is about which secret agent?
James Bond.
Correct, Henry. What is a Scottish musical instrument typically used at special events such as weddings?
I don't know.
Bagpipes. Paulina, Guten Tag means good day in what language?
German.
Correct, Alan. What are is a word that means uncommon and also is a preference for how meat is cooked?
Rare.
Correct, Craig. Which social media site was founded in 2004 by Mark Zuckerberg?
Facebook.
Correct, Brian. What's the name of the famous 1987 song sung by Rick Astley?
Never gonna give you up.
Correct, Randy.
Pass. No bank. I mean bank.
Nope, you said pass first. I have to go with your first instruction. Erica cider is traditionally made from which fruit?
Apples.
Correct, Henry. Which ocean is larger, the Atlantic Ocean or the Pacific Ocean?
The Atlantic Ocean.
Nope, the Pacific Ocean. Paulina, what ship sank on the 15th of April 1912?
The Titanic.
Correct, Alan.
Bank.
Which character by Dr. Seuss is known for stealing Christmas?
The Grinch.
Correct, Craig.
Bank.
The strength of earthquakes are measured in what scale?
The Richter scale.
Correct, Brian. In the Shakespeare tragedy Romeo and Juliet, who dies first?
Romeo.
Correct, Randy.
Bank.
Which actor plays the main character in the Mummy film series?
Is it Brendan Fraser?
Correct, Erica. In chemistry, do electrons have a positive charge or a negative charge?
Positive charge.
Nope, negative charge. Henry, in which decade of the 20th century? Time's up. And you have fallen down the drain completely. Out of the £1,000 that you could have won in this round, you banked a dreadful, pathetic, embarrassing, disappointing £90. Who was a waste of space. Who was professionally stupid. It's time to vote off the weakest link.
For the first time in the game, Alan is the strongest link. The weakest link is Henry, because he got no correct answers. But will the votes follow the facts?
Voting over, it's time to reveal who you think is the weakest link.
Henry.
Randy.
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 Alan. Remind us what you do.
I'm a butcher.
How long have you been a butcher?
I've been a butcher for 27 years.
And do you like your job as a butcher?
Yes, it's a family tradition. My father and grandfather were butchers too, and the tradition has been held for over 100 years.
100 years? Didn't you ever think about getting a different job?
No, I wanted to keep the family tradition going, and my son wants to keep it going too, because he is also planning on becoming a butcher.
I see. And how old is your son?
He's 24 years old.
Well, good luck to him. So Alan, why Randy?
Because he was very hesitant, and he made us lose lots of money when he said pass instead of bank.
Did you think he was the weakest link?
Yes, and I'm pretty sure he was the weakest link.
This might be surprising to you, Alan. But you're wrong, he wasn't the worst player in this round. Paulina. So you're also retired?
Yes, I am retired.
And what did you do before you retired?
Before I retired, I was a chemist for 34 years.
Did you enjoy your job being a chemist?
Yes, I was very good at my job. But sadly, I had to retire, and I would still be doing it if I didn't need to retire.
What do you do in your spare time now, since you've retired from being a chemist?
Well, in my spare time I like to go shopping, socializing with friends, play quizzes, and watch game shows.
Would you say that you have good general knowledge when you're playing quizzes?
I'm not too bad with general knowledge, but there's definitely some areas that I'm not particularly good at, like anything to do with pop culture, or that reality garbage on TV nowadays.
Okay. So Paulina, why do you want to get rid of Randy the artist? Don't like him?
I have nothing personal against him. I'm sure he's a nice guy, but the main reason why I voted for him is because he made the team lose a lot of money when he passed the question instead of banked. But now I know that he isn't the worst player, because you told Alan that he is wrong.
Indeed, he wasn't the worst player. Henry, do you know who was the worst player in the round?
Well, since you're asking me that, I'm gonna say it's me.
That's the correct answer, Henry. You didn't get any questions correct in this round. But it's votes that count. Randy, you may have not been the worst player in the round, but you made the team lose a lot of money when you passed instead of banked. They got so upset that they voted for you unanimously. It's time to go back to being an artist. With 6 votes, you are the weakest link. Goodbye.
I'm very annoyed with myself for saying pass instead of bank in this round. If I hadn't have done that, I'd still be in the game. I think Henry will be voted off next. Because he is starting to fall apart, and the pressure is getting to him.
Round 4. After that pathetically unimpressive round, team You have in the bank £1,310 out of a possible 3,000. 6 of you left. We're cutting another 10 seconds from the time. You now only have 2.5 minutes. We'll start with the strongest link in the last round. And that's Alan. Let's play. The weakest link. Start the clock. Alan Phil, who was in the band Genesis, and Jackie, who is a famous novelist, both share what surname?
Collins.
Correct, Craig. What's the name of the 1941 Disney movie about an elephant with big ears?
Dumbo.
Correct, Brian. How many syllables are in the word syllable?
3.
Correct, Erica. In American football, the Redskins are a team for which state?
California.
Nope, Washington. Henry, what kind of cube is a puzzle with colored tiles?
Pass.
Rubik's Cube. Paulina, which city in England would you associate the term scouse?
Liverpool.
Correct, Alan. The secondary color green is made from which two primary colors?
Blue and yellow.
Correct, Craig. What is an infectious disease transmitted by mosquitoes?
Malaria.
Correct, Brian. If you were born in 1967 and the year was 2005, how old would you be?
38 years old.
Correct, Erica. Which American rapper had the albums Relapse, Recovery, and Revival?
Eminem.
Correct, Henry. Tony Robinson plays the character Baldrick in what comedy series?
Don't know.
Blackadder. Paulina, what dance has the Spanish name for sauce?
The salsa.
Correct, Alan. What's the name of the 1990s TV game show hosted by Dale Winton?
Supermarket sweep.
Correct, Craig. In which pole are penguins found, north or south?
North Pole.
Nope,
Damn.
South Pole. Brian, in the Looney Tunes cartoons, what kind of creature was Pepe Le Pew?
Skunk.
Correct, Erica. Which TV medical drama takes place in Holby City Hospital?
Pass.
Casualty. Henry, if someone was blushing, which parts of their face would turn red?
Pass.
The correct answer is cheeks, Henry.
I'm not doing so good.
You don't say. Paulina, in what kind of map would X mark the spot?
Treasure map.
Correct, Alan.
Bang.
The Bash Street Kids appear on which comic books?
Beano.
Correct, Craig.
Bank.
When February gets one extra day, it's called the what year?
A leap year.
Time's up. Leap year was the correct answer, but you were out of time. So, after banking a pathetically low amount of money in the last round, in this round, you banked an even more embarrassing amount of money. You banked an abysmal £40. Whose fault is that? Who keeps holding you back? Who is seriously outstaying their welcome? It's time to vote off the weakest link.
For a second time in a row, Alan is the strongest link, since he got all of his questions correct and banked money for the team. Henry is the weakest link again, because he didn't answer a single question correctly in this round. But who is next to go?
Voting over, it's time to reveal who you think is the weakest link.
Henry.
Erica.
Henry.
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 Craig, how good do you think your performance was in this round?
I would say my performance was pretty good.
But you got a question wrong. You think that penguins are in the North Pole instead of the South Pole.
Yeah, I know. But still, at least it was only one question, and it's the only one I got wrong in the game so far.
Do you think you're going to answer all of your questions correctly in the later rounds then?
Maybe not all of them, but probably most of them, because I am a very knowledgeable person.
I'm not convinced. So Craig, why have you voted for Henry? Is it because he is old?
It doesn't really matter how old he is, What really matters is the fact that he didn't get any questions right in this round. And his questions were pretty easy, that I'm very surprised that he didn't know.
And the question that you got wrong was extremely difficult, wasn't it?
I suppose not.
Erica, who thinks the Redskins are a team that plays for California. What do you do?
I'm a support worker.
And for how long have you been a support worker?
I've been a support worker for 16 years.
And what are the things you like about being a support worker?
The things I like about being a support worker is being helpful to those who are unfortunate and taking care of families that desperately seek help.
What kind of help do you give families and unfortunate people?
I give people financial support if they are struggling with money, and emotional support for people with mental disorders, like bipolar or depression. We also support families that are trying to cope with a loved one that's passed away.
So basically, you like doing good deeds for others.
Yes, absolutely.
So Erica, why Henry?
Because he got more wrong than I did, so I thought he was the weakest link, and he also made us lose lots of money too.
That's fair enough. Henry, the 77-year-old retired pilot, who doesn't seem to know anything. Let's be honest, your performance has been very disappointing. You were the weakest link twice in a row. You got a lot of your questions wrong and made the team lose a lot of money. It now looks like it's all over for you. Unanimously with 5 votes, you are the weakest link. Goodbye.
I can't believe I didn't get a single question correct in this round, and I don't blame the team for voting me off. However, I hope Craig gets voted off next, because he is very cocky and overly confident, and it would be very amusing to see him go in the next round.
Round 5. Out of the £4,000 you could have won by now, you only banked so far £1,350. 5 of you left. We're cutting another 10 seconds from the time. We'll start with the strongest link in the last round. And that's Alan. Let's play. The weakest link. Start the clock. Alan, what kind of food stuff does Paddington Bear likes in his sandwiches?
Marmalade.
Correct, Craig. If you were playing double dutch, then what activity would you be doing?
Skipping.
I'll accept jump rope or skipping. Brian, the Royal Northern College of Music is based in which English city?
Manchester.
Correct, Erica. The event that happened in 1929 to the late 1930s is known as the Great what?
War?
Nope, Depression. Paulina, who plays the character Kane Dingle in the soap opera Emmerdale?
Jeff Hordley.
Correct, Alan. Which superhero has kryptonite as his weakness?
Can you repeat the question?
Which superhero has kryptonite as his weakness?
Oh, it's Superman.
Correct, Craig. Is the number 259 a prime number?
No.
Correct, Brian. In baby care, what P is another name for a baby's dummy?
Pacifier.
Correct, Erica. In a casino, a fruit slot machine that's operated by a single lever is called a what?
One-armed bandit.
Correct, Paulina. Warren Beatty and Faye Dunaway play a bank-robbing couple in which 1967 movie?
Bonnie and Clyde.
Correct, Alan. In food, what's the name of the Mexican dip made with avocados and is also used in salads?
Guacamole.
Correct, Craig.
Bank.
In a modern kitchen electric kettle, what color is the neutral wire?
Blue.
Correct, Brian. In pop music, who sang the Christmas song A Winter's Tale?
David Essex.
Correct, Erica.
Bank.
What does the theater company, RSC, stand for?
I don't know.
Royal Shakespeare Company. Paulina, Jacinda Ardern is the current Prime Minister of which country?
New Zealand.
Correct, Alan. If someone has acrophobia, then what would they have an extreme fear of?
Heights.
Correct, Craig. Which English king is famous for being married 6
Henry
times?
VIII.
Correct, Brian. Which Scottish rally car driver died in 2007 in a helicopter crash?
Colin McRae.
Correct, Erica.
Bank.
Time's up. Your bank was in time. And you did much better in this round, team. You banked £850, which isn't far from your target. But who shouldn't stay for the next round? Who are you going to send home next? It's time to vote off the weakest link.
In this impressive round, Craig is the strongest link, since he answered all of his questions correctly and banked £600 for the team. Erica is the weakest link. She got 2 incorrect answers, but she did bank £250 for the team. But who's next to leave with nothing?
Voting over, it's time to reveal who you think is the weakest link.
Alan.
Erica.
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 Brian, how is the game going for you so far?
Well, I don't think I've got a single wrong answer yet, so I think the game is going really well for me so far.
Do you think you're going to get absolutely no wrong answers in the game?
I don't know for sure, but hopefully I won't get any wrong answers. I just need to stay positive and focused.
So Brian, why Erica?
Because she was the only one to answer wrong in this round, and she got 2 wrong. And I can't believe she has never heard of the Royal Shakespeare Company, yet alone not knowing what the Great Depression is.
Alan, why have you voted for Erica?
Because just like Brian said, she was the only one to have answered incorrectly in this round, so she is the weakest link.
But did you know that she banked £250 for the team though?
Yes, I'm aware of that, but in the later rounds, we cannot afford getting lots of wrong answers, and I'm pretty sure Craig banked more money than her anyway.
Okay, and speaking of Craig, why did you vote for Erica? Had enough of her?
Well, maybe a little bit, but despite her banking a fair amount of money in this round, I agree with what Alan and Brian said. She was the only one to get questions wrong in this round, so therefore she is the weakest link, and she needs to go.
Erica, despite banking £250 for the team in this round, you got 2 questions wrong, and it looks like Craig and the team has had enough of you because of that. It's time for you to go back to being a social worker. With 4 votes, you are the weakest link. Goodbye.
I don't think it's fair that the team didn't appreciate that I banked a lot of money for them, and I hope Brian and Craig don't win, because they are both very unpleasant and spiteful. I hope Paulina wins, because she is the only one who deserves the money.
Round 6. You haven't banked £2,200 out of a possible £5,000. 4 of you left. We're cutting another 10 seconds from the time. We'll start with the strongest link in the last round. And that's Craig. Let's play the weakest link. Start the clock. Craig, which measurement is longer, 7 feet or 82 inches?
82 inches.
Nope, 7 feet. Brian, in which century was the English novelist Jane Austen born?
The 1700s.
The 18th century, but I'll accept the 1700s. Paulina, what's the name of the 1980s pop duo that has the members Neil Tennant and Chris Lowe?
Pass.
Pet Shop Boys. Alan, the Royal Mint manufactures what?
Coins.
Correct, Craig. Who wrote a famous diary while hiding from the Nazis in World War II?
Anne Frank.
Correct, Brian. Complete the name of this adult cartoon created by Mike Judge, Beavis and what?
Butthead.
Correct, Paulina. In television, which former Top Gear presenter is nicknamed Captain Slow?
Jeremy Clarkson.
Nope, James May. Alan, Paul Levesque is the real name of which professional wrestler who is currently in the WWE?
I have no idea.
Triple H. Craig, what movie features a Volkswagen Beetle that has a mind of its own called Herbie?
I don't know.
The Love Bug. Brian, in chemistry, what is the minimum number of elements needed to make an alloy?
2.
Correct, Paulina. Which song by Elton John was dedicated to Marilyn Monroe?
Candle in the Wind.
Correct, Alan. In geography, what's the capital of Antigua and Barbuda?
St. John's.
Correct, Craig. Complete the phrase. Beggars can't be what?
Choosers.
Correct, Brian. Which sport would you associate Henry Cooper?
Boxing.
Correct, Paulina. What is the fourth letter of the Greek alphabet?
Delta.
Correct, Alan. A deerstalker is a type of what clothes accessory?
Hat.
Correct, Craig.
Blank.
Gold represents how many years of marriage?
70 years?
Nope, 50 years. Brian, in the 2003 Pixar Disney movie Finding Nemo, who voices Dory?
Ellen DeGeneres.
Time's up. That was the correct answer, but you were out of time. And you didn't do as well as you did in the previous round, team. You only banked £600. Who's feeling under pressure? Who won't help you in the later rounds to come? It's time to vote off the weakest link.
For the second time in the game, Brian is the strongest link, because he was the only one to have answered all of his questions correctly. For a reversal of fortune, Craig was the strongest link in the previous round, but now the weakest in this. However, he did bank the most money for the team. Will that save him from the vote?
Voting over, it's time to reveal who you think is the weakest link.
Craig.
Craig.
Paulina.
Paulina.
We have a tie. Craig and Paulina, 2 votes each. Paulina, who thinks Jeremy Clarkson's nickname is Captain Slow. Why did you vote for Craig?
I knew my performance wasn't very good in this round, but I voted for Craig because I believed that he was the weakest link, since he got one more wrong than I did.
Alright. And Craig, why did you vote for Paulina?
Well, I can't vote for myself, so I voted for Paulina, because she got the most wrong answers out of everyone else, apart from me.
Well, when the vote is tied, the strongest link gets to cast the deciding vote. And that's Brian. Brian, you voted for Paulina, but now you can change your mind and vote for Craig. Who do you want to get rid of?
I'm going to stick with Paulina.
Why?
Because I believe that won't be fair to change my vote. I'd rather stick with my original decision. And I believe that Craig banked a lot of money in this round.
But do you realize that she wasn't the worst player in this round though?
Yeah, but it's going to be the banking that counts, especially in the later rounds, and she didn't bank a lot of money. And when she got the Captain Slow question wrong, I find it very ironic, because she was definitely Captain Slow in this round.
Okay. Well, Craig was the weakest link in this round, but as you know, it's votes that count. Paulina, the 68-year-old retired chemist. You did well until this point. You got 2 questions wrong, and it looks like Brian has had enough of you because you didn't bank enough money, and you're too slow. It's time to go back home. You are the weakest link. Goodbye.
I'm extremely annoyed getting voted off, even though I wasn't the weakest link, but you know what, I'm glad in a way, because Brian has really been doing my head in, with his arrogance and bad attitude, and I hope he doesn't win. And I'm just glad that I'll never see his smug face again.
Round 7. Out of the £6,000 you could have won by now, you banked £2,800. There are now only 3 of you left. And we still have Alan the Butcher, Craig the Accountant, and Brian the College Tuner. We're cutting another 10 seconds from the time. We'll start with the strongest link in the last round. And that's Brian. Let's play the weakest link. Start the clock. Brian in literature, who wrote the 4th protocol.
Frederick Forsyth.
Correct, Alan. What's the name of the character played by Jane Freeman in the British sitcom Last of the Summer Wine?
Ivy.
Correct, Craig. Which politician who was the leader of the Conservative Party was called the Iron Lady?
Theresa May?
No, Craig. Margaret Thatcher is the correct answer. Brian, what's the name of the actress and singer who played Calamity Jane and had the song High Hopes?
Judy Garland?
Nope, Doris Day. Alan, No Glory is a popular name given to the flag of which country?
United States.
Correct, Craig.
Bank.
Electric Ladyland was a 1968 album by which American English rock guitarist?
Pass.
Jimi Hendrix. Brian, in maths, what's 90% of 570?
513.
Correct, Alan. Which Asian country is ruled by the Kim dynasty?
North Korea.
Correct, Craig. Which of the Minogue sisters is older, Kylie Minogue or Danny Minogue?
Kylie Minogue.
Correct, Brian.
Bank.
In this film franchise Fast and Furious, which actor plays the character Dominic Toretto?
Vin Diesel.
Correct, Alan. In-game shows the original version of The Weakest Link was aired in which year?
2000.
Correct, Craig. What's the name of the Scottish comedian who is a panel on the TV program Mock the Week?
Billy Connolly.
Nope, Frankie Boyle. Brian, The Stand, Dr. Sleep and Pet Sematary are books written by which horror?
Stephen King.
Correct, Alan. In 2014, what deadly virus caused the outbreak in West Africa?
Ebola.
Correct, Craig.
Bank.
Alexander Graham Bell was famous in the 19th century for the invention of what?
The telephone.
Time's up. The telephone was the correct answer and you were in time. And your performance was extremely disappointing in this round. You only banked a measly £170. Now in round 8 you get the chance to treble what you bank, so potentially, there's £3,000 to be won. Who will not help you raise the bank balance in the next round? Who do you think is not worthy to stay in the final? But the real question is, do you have the bravery and courage to vote off the weakest link?
For the third time in the game, Alan is the strongest link, since he was the only one to have not got a question wrong. Craig is the weakest link again, since he got most of his questions wrong. But who will lose out in the final vote?
Voting over, it's time to reveal who you think is the weakest link.
Brian.
Brian.
Craig.
Alan. Why did you vote for Brian? Did you think he was the weakest link?
No, I voted for Brian because I think my chances of winning the money will be higher if I was facing Craig, so I'd rather keep Craig for the final.
Well, you're not being particularly brave, aren't you?
Maybe not, but I'd rather lose to Craig than lose to Brian. And at the end of the day it's winning the money that counts, so it's time for you to go, Brian.
Okay. And finally, Craig. Why Brian?
Welp, I didn't want to be a coward and vote for the strongest link, which I knew it was Alan, and I couldn't vote for myself, so there was absolutely nothing I can do apart from vote for Brian. And besides, I'm pretty sure everyone is missing him at the college, so I'm doing him a favor by sending him back there.
Fair enough. Brian, the 38-year-old college tuner. You did well in today's game. You only got one question wrong in the whole game. But it looks like Alan doesn't want to face you in the final, and Craig thinks you should go back to college because everyone is missing you. Well, you now have the opportunity to go back there. You are the weakest link. Goodbye.
I don't deserve to be voted off, because I was the best player in the whole game. I only got one question wrong, and I'm the one who should be walking away with the prize money. I think without a doubt Alan will win, because he's much more knowledgeable than Craig. It's a pity he is a coward though, and I'm more knowledgeable than them two combined.
Round 8. You have in the bank £2,970 out of a possible £7,000. Alan and Craig, just the two of you left. You now only have 90 seconds, but whatever you win will be trebled and added to your total winnings of the previous rounds. So there's £3,000 at stake. We'll start with the strongest link in the last round. And that's Alan. Let's play. The weakest link. Start the clock. Alan in the Bible, who was given a richly ornamented robe by his father Jacob.
Joseph.
Correct. Craig. Which EastEnders actress had the song Anyone Can Fall in Love?
Anita Dobson.
Correct. Alan. A word that reads the same backwards and forwards is called a what?
Palindrome.
Correct. Craig. In the comedy series My Name is Earl, who played the main character Earl Hickey?
Jason Lee.
Correct. Alan. In the animal kingdom, the Russian Blue is a breed of which domestic animal?
Cat.
Correct. Craig.
Bank.
Which film has the famous line "Stupid is as stupid does"?
Forrest Gump.
Correct. Alan. What building in India was first opened in 1648?
The Taj Mahal.
Correct. Craig.
Bank.
Inside the human body, what is the largest organ?
Heart.
Nope. Liver. Alan, the Archies had a song in 1969 with what two-word title?
Sugar Sugar.
Correct. Craig.
Bank.
The gunpowder plot was an assassination attempt against which king of England?
King James.
Correct. Alan. In the 2002 Blue Sky Studios movie Ice Age, what kind of creature is said?
Sloth.
Correct. Craig. In sport, Brendan Rodgers is currently the manager of which Scottish football club?
Celtic.
Correct. Alan.
Bank.
In a company or institution, what does CEO stand for? Time's up. And you only got one question wrong in that round, but you still haven't managed to reach your target. You banked £470, we'll treble that and add it to the total winnings of today. So that makes the total prize money of today of £4,380, but only one of you can take that money away. They'll now play against each other head-to-head. I'll ask alternating questions, best of 5. Whoever answers the most correctly wins. It's as simple as that. If there's a tie after 5, we'll go to sudden death until we have a winner. So Alan and Craig, for £4,380. Let's play the weakest link. Alan, as the strongest link in the last round, you have the choice to who goes first.
I'll go first.
Alan, what's the title of the 1951 novel by John Wyndham that's about killer plants?
The Day of the Triffids.
That's the correct answer. Craig, which composer was born in Bonn, Germany, in 1770?
Beethoven.
That's the correct answer. Alan, in chemistry, which element on the periodic table has the atomic number 7?
Nitrogen.
That's the correct answer. Craig, what's the name of the English girl pop group that originated in London and had the songs Love Machine, Call the Shots, and Sound of the Underground?
Girls Aloud.
That's the correct answer. Alan, the Bikini Bottom is a fictional place in which 2000s Nickelodeon cartoon?
Is it SpongeBob SquarePants?
That's the correct answer. Craig, in The Simpsons, what is the name of the TV show that Bart and Lisa watch that parodies Tom and Jerry?
Pass.
The correct answer is The Itchy and Scratchy Show. You're now in the lead, Alan. In the 2008 video game Grand Theft Auto 4, what is the name of the main character?
I don't know.
The correct answer is Nico Bellic. Craig, if someone was born on the 17th of February, what star sign would they be?
Aquarius.
That's the correct answer. Alan, in which country in the UK would you find the Knock Hill racing circuit?
Scotland.
That's the correct answer. Craig, you need to answer this question correctly to stay in the game. In which 1992 film stars Kevin Costner and Whitney Houston?
Dances with Wolves?
The correct answer is The Bodyguard. That means Alan, you are today's strongest link and you go away with £4,380. Craig, you leave with nothing. Join us again for the weakest link. Goodbye.
I can't believe I won the weakest link, but I have enjoyed the experience.
Alan won fair and square. And I'm very proud of myself to make it all the way to the final round.
And also fair play to Craig for being brave, and I'm now planning on going on holiday with my prize money.